In this video today I'm going to show you a few basic embroidery stitches. Back stitch, running stitch, chain stitch, lazy daisy stitch and French knot. And the materials I'm using are, well, we need a hoop, and I use calico, which is a good fabric to use for practicing things on. And I need the needle and thread, and I'm using a thicker thread just so that it's easier to see the stitches. And I'm going to make these stitches larger than you would normally do, just so that you can see how to do them easily. First up we'll do back stitch. I'll bring the needle and thread out at A and take a back stitch down at B, and then bring that back to C, and then you take it back to A again. And that's basically how you do back stitch. But I will do a smaller one now. Bring it up at A, down at B, which will be in there, then back to C, and down at A again. And you can continue on that way, bringing it up at A, down at B, back to C, and down at A. Next stitch, which is running stitch. Come up at A and go down at B, then come up at C, and down at D. This should have equal intervals between each stitch. So I'll do that a bit smaller and you can see the difference. So come up at A, down at B, up at C, down, and that makes equal intervals in between each stitch. For the third stitch I'll be doing chain stitch, which is a simple way to follow an outline. Bring the needle up at A, hold the thread down with your left thumb, insert the needle into the same hole, at A, and come out at B. Loop the thread under the needle like that and pull it through. Then you take the needle and thread back through that loop and bring the needle and thread back out at C and pull it through. And to finish it off, you just take the thread back down. Now I'll do that a smaller one so that you can see how it would normally be done. Bring the needle up at A, go back down in A, holding that thread with your thumb, and come back. Bring the needle back up. Okay, take the needle back down through that first chain, holding the thread with your thumb. Bring the needle back up into that loop. Then you can hold that thread again with your thumb and take the needle back down into that second chain. Bring the needle back up. Pull the needle right through, and when you come to the end you just take the thread back down and finish it off. The next stitch is lazy daisy stitch or detached chain stitch. You bring your needle up at A. This can be used to make flowers too. We go back down into the same hole, holding that thread with your thumb. Bring the needle and thread back up through the loop, and you finish it off with a little stitch just at the bottom of the loop. And you can come back up holding the thread with your thumb, back down again. And with a little stitch, hold that loop. And if you go around, you can make a nice little flower. These are like petals. Don't forget to hold the thread with your thumb and go back into the same hole. Make a loop and a small stitch at the bottom of the loop. You can do 5 petals. Can be used for any other sort of decorative stitch. And there's your lazy daisy or detached chain stitch. So now we're going to do French knot. Bring the needle and thread out at A, holding the thread down with your left thumb, and twist it around the needle and go back down into A. You can bring the needle back up again. Hold the thread with your other hand and wrap it around the needle and take it back down into that same hole. Do another one, bring it up, hold onto the thread and wrap it around the needle and go back down into that same hole. Up, hold onto the thread and wrap it around the needle and take it back down into the same hole. This can be used for the centre of flowers. Do one more, bring it up, hold onto the thread and wrap it around the needle and go back down into the same hole. There we have it.